So the Bears have lost once again to the Minnesota Vikings by a score of 30-12 to drop our record to 4-10. 10-loss season, baby. 4 in a row. Can we shoot for 5? I think we can hit it. Oh my god. Worst season ever, by far. Yeah. I turned this game off with about 5 minutes to go, so I'm sure there's a few details that I'm probably not going to have. But I think I got the general idea of this loss. Good God, this team. This has been. I don't think I've ever been more wrong about a Bears season than I have been about this one. And that's saying a lot because I thought we were going to the Super Bowl in 2019 and we missed the playoffs. This team, genuinely, I think they're going to go 4-13. I think that we're not. I don't think we're going to get any more wins this year because how can we when our defense is porous, letting up 4 third and long conversions and just terrible penalties all game long, just no drive. The only people that feel like they're playing with any effort are like Jalen Johnson and TJ Edwards. Like, they're the only ones that feel like they're still showing up every week. Like, Jalen Johnson, oh my gosh, like, he's done nothing but earn my respect this year for still continuing to ball out, despite the fact that this team has done nothing but let him down. He re-signed. He got extended. And then on offense, you've got just a train wreck. That's the best way I can put it. Caleb was not very good, but you know, the bigger disaster, just like last week, was the offensive line. A unit that is banged up, but wow. So Karan Amagaji started this game because Braxton Jones got injured. And, you know, it's been a while. We've had a lot of bad offensive linemen in Chicago. Lucas Patrick's, Sam Mustipher's, Jamarcus Webb's, guys like that. But Karan Amagaji just might be another level of terrible. And he was a third-round pick, an early third-round pick by Ryan Poles. A guy who was injured, so he did miss all of training camp. But I still have a hard time excusing him looking this bad, just letting guys just run around him, falling over. And, man, Caleb Williams, especially up the middle, too, horrible game. This offensive line that Ryan Poles built, that we were told when he came in that he would have a keen eye for offensive line talent. And instead, he's had a keen eye for guys that can run block, I guess. As far as I know, I think Darnell Wright is the only one that is worth keeping around. I think he's also the only one under contract after this year. I think Braxton Jones might have one more season. Horrific day again. Caleb Williams just... When Caleb gets rattled like that, the whole game is like he's basically done. And it's crazy. He just kind of goes into a shell and becomes super frantic and can't really make decisions and goes off target. Like, you need a good offensive line. Not even a good offensive line. A competent offensive line for Caleb Williams. And he can continue to blossom. But at this point with Caleb, I think we might be reaching a point of diminishing returns here by continuing to trot him out there every week. If he's just going to get blown up every play, he's either going to get injured or he's going to keep losing his confidence. Something's going to happen here. And I don't want him to get benched. I want him to be protected here. We are 4-10, or we've been eliminated from the playoffs, which we've been eliminated for a while, but officially eliminated yesterday. What's the point in continuing to keep sending him out if he's just going to get lit up and put bad tape out there and not develop any more chemistry with guys? He's still having the same issues with receivers that he's been having all season. Him and Rome aren't really on the same page. Keenan Allen keeps dropping key passes. Rome's been dropping some too. DJ has not been given 100% effort out there. The only thing that feels consistent about this offense is the run game with DeAndre Swift, and even then, like, it's not that good. So the Bears, it's hard to believe after, if you went back and you told me after, what was our last win? Against the Jaguars in London? If you went back to me at that point, after the vibes were just so good, this team was rocking, we were 4-2, we had an easy stretch of games coming up, and Caleb was looking really good, defense was continuing to ball out. If you went back and you told me, yeah, they're going to lose their next 8 games and be eliminated from the playoffs before the end of December, I would have, I don't know if I would have been surprised because it's the Bears, but I definitely would have been surprised that this Bears team would have had that happen to them. I was very critical of everything that they chose to do coaching-wise going into this year, but even I didn't think that it could go this poorly. This team is soulless. They're depressing to watch. Even going into this game, I had the mindset of, I don't really care. I've taken my foot off the gas when it comes to the Bears for weeks now. I haven't really cared a lot. And even then, watching the games, I get depressed because I'm watching my rookie quarterback get lit up. I'm watching my offensive line look like just a bunch of traffic cones. I'm watching my wide receivers make drops. I'm watching my defense give up 3rd and long after 3rd and long after 3rd and long after 3rd and long. And yeah, it's bad. And I'm watching the D-line not do anything. Could not get pressure until deep in the 3rd, it felt like. But the game was pretty much out of hand at that point anyway. First half, Sam Darnold felt untouched. And even though they were sending blitzes, they weren't doing anything. We really need another piece for the edge group, especially without Andrew Billings, who I think is the most important aspect of this defense. Montez Sweat, he needs someone else. I don't think he's Batman. I think I don't know if I want to call him Robin, but he's definitely not Batman. We need another guy for him and not a 5th round rookie or a guy we signed off the streets. DeMarcus Walker on the interior had an okay game. He made some good plays, but got gashed in the run, got gashed in the pass, and Tyreek Stevenson didn't look all that great either. It's just, there's nothing, all these draft picks and young guys that we haven't been looking very good. The only ones I can even think of are, I guess, Torrey Taylor. Rome has his moments, Caleb has his moments, but there's nobody I can look at and definitively say, yeah, that guy's a solid, he's going to be on this team for a long time. Maybe Darnell Wright. No studs. Honestly, it feels like a lot of the best guys on the team were guys that either Ryan Poles traded for, signed in free agency, or were already here when he got here. The guys he's drafted, while some of them have been good, Kyler Gordon's been good, maybe him. But there's nobody that I'm just like, yeah, that was a home run draft pick right there. Not as of yet. I think Caleb will get there. I do. With the right coaching and a line that can actually block for him. But it feels like we're just having the Justin Fields conversation all over again. I was saying the same things that we're saying now about Caleb, about Fields, about Trubisky. It's the same things again and again and again, and they just refuse to learn from it. And before you know it, our young quarterback loses his confidence and has stunted his growth, and then we're looking at the draft again for a new guy. And at this point, the Bears really need to figure out, it feels like they know what the issue is, but they just can't seem to get around it. It's unbelievable. And I think especially the biggest issue is Ryan Poles drafting in the mid rounds. We've got 3 guys that I thought of specifically. We've got Zach Pickens, first pick of the 3rd round last year, who has done nothing. He's been starting ever since Andrew Billings went down for the season. And when you pick a guy at the first pick of the 3rd round, you're expecting at least something from him, and he has shown nothing. Absolutely nothing. I like Gervon Dexter. Actually, he might be. Maybe Gervon Dexter. Yeah, I don't know. Not a home run pick, though. He kind of falls in the same category as Kyler Gordon. But, yeah, Zach Pickens has done nothing. Tyler Scott, who he picked in the 4th round, has also done absolutely nothing. He hasn't even played a snap yet this year, I don't think. And that's alarming because we really need a deep threat on this offense. I don't know if Caleb can't throw deep or if we're just refusing to even try it. I wish we'd try it more. I would really love to see Caleb cork like a 60, 50 yarder, but he hasn't done it all season, really. He had one to Rome. That was nice. Against the Colts, I think, which was almost 3 months ago. Yeah, it's not great. And then you got Karan Amagaji, who I already mentioned. Roshan Johnson, who I thought would be the future RB1 of this team, who has been nothing but a bit of a role player at this point. So yeah, this team is just so fundamentally broken. Ryan Poles, I still like the moves he's made in the in free agency and trades and stuff like that, and in the early rounds of the draft. But I'm really, I don't know, man. Seeing this team give up like this really has me second guessing him a little bit. But I don't want to fall into the same trap. Like the whole Bears community is kind of hive minding to get rid of him, and I'm not so sure that's the thing to do quite yet. But I do have my criticisms of him, that's for sure. We'll see if he can find the next head coach. If he does that, I think this team is good enough that it can make the playoffs. But man, you got some work to do too. This isn't one thing fix. Like it's not like when the Cubs just replaced David Ross with Craig Counsell and we're just like, and then they proceed to miss the playoffs. You got to do more than that. And this team has a lot of issues culturally as well. I think might be broken. Guys don't hold each other accountable. Guys don't look like they're really trying. There really isn't any identity to this team, which is what Poles was supposed to build. It's what Flus was supposed to build. Nothing, man. And yeah, just this whole season has just been just worst case scenario, feels like. So yeah, it's rough going. It's rough, definitely, especially watching the rest of our division rivals fight each other for who's gonna make the playoffs and win the division. And meanwhile, there's us who is 4-10. We deserve to be up there with them. We absolutely do, and I feel that in my heart that this team right now should have at least 7 wins, but they don't. And it really sucks because like there's so many good pieces on this team, and yet they're floundering. And it's frustrating to watch because I feel bad for the players who, some of them are playing pretty well, and they're stuck on this garbage team. And a lot of them have just stopped trying, I feel like. And this is just kind of get me to the end of the season kind of year. So, yeah, Bears are cratering. It's just getting worse and worse as the weeks go on. So, next up, we've got, who do we got? Detroit at home next Sunday. And then we got to play the Seahawks on Thursday, right after Christmas. Then we play the Packers and the season's over. Maybe we can beat Seattle. Maybe we can beat Seattle. But I was really expecting some kind of anything. But this team has not shown. Ever since Foose got fired, they've just taken their hands off the wheel, and they're just like, yep, we're done. And I rewatched some of my videos of the losses from earlier this season, and I got, really angry or really passionate or really whatever. I don't have that in me anymore. After watching these last couple weeks, I don't have that in me. I don't really think this team deserves all that much energy from the fans, and I really think that, I don't know, maybe we should do other things on our Sundays for the rest of this year, because it seems like the Bears definitely are. Just sucks. It sucks that we're wasting a year of this rebuild. we're getting sent back here. You know, it felt like we were making some serious progress, and then before you know it, one Hail Mary and it all just fizzles away to nothing. Winless since the bye. Unbelievable. So yeah, this has been a season. This has been a season, but it just, man, it really didn't feel like it was supposed to be this way. Like, this has been even more Bears than even I could have predicted. Just a complete disaster of a season. Whew. All right. Well, maybe things will get better, but do you guys really think that's going to happen? I mean, I think it's going to happen if it were any other team. But I don't have faith in the Bears. And I always looked down on people that said the things that I'm saying right now, that they don't have faith in this team to get things right or ownership or whatever. You know, I always told them, I was like, you don't sound like Bears fans. You don't sound like this is not, if you really don't believe that, you shouldn't be a Bears fan. And now I get it. I get why they're saying those things, because when you live through it for long enough, like I'm pretty young. I didn't really start watching the Bears hardcore until like maybe 6-7 years ago. So I haven't really lived through the pain that these guys have. And I understand it now. I really do. And I was one of the most optimistic guys out there. But, you know, maybe they'll hire Ben Johnson and they'll reel me back in. But as of right now, you know, I've never been this bearish on the Bears, to use a finance term. Fun. Well, you know, at least it's almost Christmas.